مسرور يا بحر الهدى أرض التقى والنور جئناك نبغي بيعة نمضي بها للنور.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. It's pleasing to welcome you to another interesting episode of your favorite program, Domestic Issues and Their Solutions. What are the causes of marital challenges, marital disagreements, misunderstandings, and commotions that many marriages, many couples are experiencing in their marriages? Why are there so increasing rate of divorce in our time? And how can couples resolve issues peacefully and live a happy and successful marital life? These and many more are the issues we shall be looking to as we engage in a lively review of this book titled Domestic Issues and Their Solutions by Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, the worldwide head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, dealing with issues couples are facing and providing solutions to them, viable solutions that are based on Islamic teachings and guidance. Joining me to engage in this review on the show today is Mr. Abbasi Romini Sahib. He is the General Secretary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Nigeria and currently working with the Federal University of E03 State in Nigeria. Mr. Abbas Sahib, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's pleasing to host you on the show today.
Alhamdulillah.
And we can't wait to get more of your insightful review as we move on. MashaAllah. Dear viewers, before we delve into the discussion, into the review proper, if you are having a copy of this book or you don't have, all you need to do is to go to www.alislam.org as it is being displayed on the screen and get it downloaded, get seated to follow every bit of this program and benefit from the inspiring address, inspiring guidance, and blessed advice of His Holiness as we explore the book. Mr. Rasai.
Thank you. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, advised the couples, the husband and wives, and this is the way he put it. He said, of course, while enjoining husband and wife to find good qualities in each other, the Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be on him, said that if you see a flaw in the other or dislike a habit of theirs, there would be many aspects or characteristics of theirs that you may like and admire. These favorable aspects should be kept in view to selflessly create a harmonious air and milieu of conciliation. To get this properly reviewed, a question is very relevant. And the question is this: can anyone say there has been a man or a husband or a woman or a wife that is from A to Z totally bad? Nothing good in him or her. There's no such human being on earth that you not even find an outer of goodness. And this is what His Holiness is saying. Before we even get to that level, before a man approaches a lady expressing his love for her and making a proposal, he must have seen some good things. Some qualities must have attracted him. Oh, Is it the way she recites the Quran? Or is it the way she comes to the mosque regularly? Or is it the way she's soft-spoken, she's not the loud type? Or is it some good things must have influenced the two of them to agree to be in a relationship? So when, as a human being who is not perfect, you now see a flaw or something you don't so much cherish, it's honest to say, remember the good ones that you so much cherish. Those ones that have attracted you. And that is what life is all about. It's about ups and downs.
Absolutely.
The vicissitudes of life. So you should not, on account of an observed flaw, now try to make the woman, either you want to distance yourself from her or you want to make hell for her. No, you should think of those other good qualities she has. Ditto for the woman. She should think of those other good qualities that the man has. Is it by virtue of, there are so many other things that you need to consider that will make us tolerate and accept each other's flaws to make our life a very nice one.
Absolutely, Mr. Abbasam. That's quite insightful because, Allah in the Holy Quran declares that وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. That is in chapter 4 of the Quran, that man is created weak. So we've got our strengths and also our weaknesses. And no one is perfect, as you have rightly said. And therefore, just like a Spanish proverb says that since we cannot get all that we like, let us like all that we can get. Okay. So when you've gotten somebody as a wife, as your wife or as your husband, of course you believe you cannot get 100% perfection from her or him. Therefore, you should appreciate the imperfections in her or in him. And whenever there are issues, the guidance is that look at the good ones, the good aspect, the good qualities she has or he has, and use that one, appreciate that one. So that's the way to go. Flaws. And secondly, you have to be contented with God has provided for you in her or in him as your wife or your husband. So by going by all this, it will create a harmonious environment within the home. I think this is a very profound guidance that we can go by in resolving and solving issues at home. And going further, His Holiness also, Yalabi, his helper, said that this counsel is for both husband and wife. If they control their emotions, constant trivial conflict and quarrels in families will not arise, and children will not be damaged. That is absolutely true. So when we see weaknesses from the side of the wife, for example, it's said that we have to control our emotion. We must remember that we have not married a perfect woman or husband. So if she is good in one way, she is good in cooking, but or maybe she is not so good in preparing delicious food, then look at others. She is good in maintaining, sanitation of the home, maintaining the cleanliness of the house, and so on. That is an excellent aspect of her.
One compensates for the other.
Yes. Okay. She's weak in certain room. And the other room, she's excellent.
Excellent. She's strong there.
Spiritually, she's okay, and so on. So you look at all this, and you don't create issues out of minor things. Yeah. So His Holiness continued and said, sometimes trivial matters are so blown out of proportion, and painful situations are created that one is perplexed at the very thought that there are people in this world who are humans in name only, but are worse than animals in reality. And that unfolds when people, capitalize on, or maybe husbands, for example, capitalizes on trivial issues, like, the case of somebody who, just few days after the marriage, she said, she cannot continue again. Why? And people ask why. She said the man snores too much. It is unbearable for her. Unbearable to say that she wants to, quit the marriage. Such as trivial things has been, magnified to the level of causing breakup of a very nascent marriage, and or the issue of somebody telling his wife that, oh, having spent more than 20 years under his mother, enjoying the delicious meals of his mother. After marriage, he discovered that the wife meals.
It's not
as delicious as that of her mother. Mom. And he's complaining, oh, you can't cook like my mother. I'm missing my mother. So, oh, I can't continue like this. This is not. She is good in another way. And appreciate her for that. Use that strength, that point of strength, to override that weakness and let everything go on.
And even the other thing he could do, if truly he has entered to that marriage because of the love of Allah, he can even ask that wife to go and spend some days with his mom, so that will afford the lady opportunity to learn how the mother cooks, and that will have actually solved the issue. And that is what leads us to the next point, where His Holiness actually taught us and provided guidance on so many issues. Here he says, marriage is also a contract between a man and a woman. A woman is commanded that in light of this pact, she has some obligations. For example, she must look after the needs of her husband, nurture the children, looking after the household, nurturing the children, looking after the household, etc. Likewise, men have the responsibility of providing for the family, and they have the responsibility of the varied needs pertaining to this. Both husband and wife have joint responsibility of the virtues of bringing of children. The more husband and wife care for the rights of each other while abiding by this pact, the more beautiful society will become. Giving, teaching each party their obligations, and making them to know that each has that abiding duty to fulfill their respective roles. Of course, he has made it clear that marriage is a contract. And like I've said before, a contract is a contract. Terms and obligations of that contract must be obeyed, must be fulfilled. He has also made us to know that marriage is a kind of mutual pact, and that there has to be mutual respect between the husband and the wife. There has to be mutual fellow feeling. There has to be a kind of humane treatment from one party to the other and from the other party to the other. Of course, that two wrongs cannot make a right.
Absolutely.
So these are ways to really lay a solid foundation for a harmonious relationship that will lead to... And he has said it here also, that they have the right, the joint responsibility of the virtues of bringing of children. That is very, very, very important.
Absolutely, Mr. Basai. And dear viewers, if you are just joining us, you are at the right channel, watching the right program. It is Domestic Issues and Their Solutions, a program where we review this book with the same title, containing the inspiring address and blessed advice of Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, the worldwide head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. May Allah be his helper, bringing out all these, guidance for the benefit of you, the viewers, and all of us to use them, leverage on them to reform all that is deformed in our marriages, so that we can experience true peace and happiness and fulfilled and successful married life. We absolutely still have more to explore in the book today as we move on. Mr. Basai, and we look down the page,
Page
the
17.
paragraph down there in page 17, we have His Holiness. He actually recited verse 2 of Surah An-Nisa in his address to ladies at Jasa Salana, Germany. That is the annual conference of Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Germany, and gave advice regarding it. He declared that the verse that I have just recited is recited at the time of nikah, that is marriage solemnization. In it, Allah the Exalted states, "O people, men and women, fear Allah the Exalted and abide by His commandments. Pay the rights of Allah the Exalted and also pay the rights of people. By paying the rights of Allah the Exalted, you will have His fear in your hearts, and your mind will not stray, and you will stay firm on religion. Satan will not be able to overcome you." By this, His Holiness has further defined what righteousness means and the key, the centrality of place it occupies in marital relationship. And most importantly, he took us on two dimensions. One is the dimension of paying the right due to Allah as husbands and wife within the home. And secondly, is on the dimension of paying the rights due to fellow human beings. And in this case, husband paying the dues of his wife, and the wife discharging the responsibility she owes to the husband. And so, in this passage, we see him, His Holiness, emphasizing the spiritual dimension of couple in terms of establishing relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through obedience to the commandments of Almighty Allah. Therefore, husband and wife must unite in worship of Allah, in obedience to the commandments of Allah, particularly as regards marital relationship, and a whole lot of things that one has to do towards Almighty Allah, as in the sense of discharging the rights of Almighty Allah to Him. And in this respect, we say, we talk of spirituality, because anything we do towards Allah is spiritual, and anything we do towards fellow human beings is moral. And so, in this aspect, in this excerpt, he has dealt with the issue, both sides, and emphasizing the spiritual aspect, Mr. Basai.
And to further deepen that, His Holiness went ahead to say, if you pay the rights of people, which is a commandment for both men and women, firstly, men and women will discharge their responsibilities towards each other and will regard and be mindful of each other's rights. He says, they will make their homes hubs of love and affection and will fulfill the rights of their children. They will give time to their children and will give attention to their education and training rather than a child learning something from outside. There are many matters that parents have to teach their children. His Holiness is now expanding the scope.
Absolutely.
Beyond just seeing yourselves, beyond just discharging each other's obligations, what I owe, what the husband owes the wife, and what the wife owes to the husband. Beyond that, His Holiness has now mentioned the children. They are part and parcel of this package we call marriage. And he has mentioned how to properly bring them up, give them quality education. Of course, which must be a joint venture. It is not just for the woman alone to be saddled with that responsibility. And neither is it just to be left for the man alone. The couple must be able to really ensure they provide a very cordial atmosphere for that child to be educated and to be given the spiritual training that is required from home, such that they will have been able to contribute to the outside world, people that will actually be good to in the society and not those that will disrupt it. This is another
Absolutely,
fine
Mr.
one
Abbas.
from His
And it's
Holiness.
very striking that His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, particularly mentioned a very key point here.
Yeah.
He said that rather than a child learning something from outside, there are many matters that parents have to teach their children. And in an age of social media, internet, globalization, information explosion, children are exposed to learning from outside because they are vulnerable. And so parents must be up and doing in this respect. What are your children watching on the social media? What are they learning from outsiders?
Which programs are they watching on
Are they
telly?
watching? So these are key issues that we parents must look into. And he has so powerfully highlighted them here that there are many matters that parents have to teach their children, not outsiders. It is the parents that must pass such moral and spiritual, education to them. And also, taking it further, he said, a loving connection should be forged with each other's parents and siblings, in-laws, and their rights should be fulfilled. This responsibility is not only for women, rather, it is also the responsibility of men. This would bring about a loving and tolerant society where there will be no question of fighting for one's rights because attention will be given towards fulfilling each other's rights. Each man and woman will strive towards making a sacrifice in order to fulfill each other's rights. This is inspiring, powerfully inspiring indeed. The Holy Quran declares that in Surah Al-Furqan, chapter 25 of the Quran, that وَهُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ مِنَ الْمَاءِ بَشَرًا فَجَعَلَهُ نَسَبًا وَسِهْرًا وَكَانَ رَبُّكَ قَدِيرًا. That Allah is the one who has created from water human beings. وَجَعَلَ لَهُ نَسَبًا وَسِهْرًا. After creating human being, Allah says He gave him or her family by lineage and family, that is family by blood and family by marriage, that is in-law. So you can see the Quran so beautifully identified the place of in-laws. Family by blood, your father and mother, your siblings. Family by marriage, nasaban wa sihron. Sihron means family by marriage. And Quran places, both of them at that level that you must begin to look at your in-laws as actually your family by marriage. So it's so beautiful. And His Holiness, may Allah be his helper here, is instructing us powerfully that a loving connection should be forged with each other's parents and siblings, and their rights should be fulfilled. Therefore, a son-in-law, the husband must look at his father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and so on, with respect, giving them their dues, their rights is his responsibilities. So this is a perfect message or inspiring address and guidance that we can go by to reform issues. Solve a whole lot of issues that many people are facing in the home. And he also said, this will bring about loving and tolerant society where there will be no question of fighting for one's right because attention would be given towards fulfilling each other's right. We live in an age where people are just talking of my rights, my rights, my rights. Nobody is talking about my responsibilities, my responsibilities, my responsibilities. However, Islam, builds up the mentality of Muslims such that we should be talking about and striving to fulfill our responsibilities because your right is my responsibility. The right of wife is the responsibility of the husband, and the right of the husband is the responsibility of the wife. So let us talk about responsibility rather than talking about my right, without fulfilling one's responsibility. It has been a great time on the show today, Mr. Abbas Sahib, and Jazakallah khairan for coming to the show. Mr. Abbas Sahib, before we go, we are actually running out of time now, but if you have final thoughts that you may like to share.
Thank you so much, Mukarram Sahib. His Holiness, may Allah be his helper, has made a distinction. In some parts of the world, let's say the Western world, they believe in individualistic approach to life. Maybe just themselves, a husband and wife, and they don't care. In fact, some don't even care about their parents again. But here, His Holiness has made us to know that that is not the right route. The right route is we should cater, apart from catering for ourselves as husband and wife, as a husband, those your extended family members, your siblings, I should see how I cater for them as well, how I care for them. Your parents, how I care for them. Ditto you should do for me. So this distinction is actually very, very important, and it will go a long way in sanitizing the society and making us to care and to love one another.
Absolutely, Mr. Abbas. These are solutions to domestic issues that couples are facing in the world today. And absolutely, we are blessed that we are fortunate that we have a global leader, global Islamic authority in our time, talking of Hazrat Mirza Masih Ahmad, giving us all this inspiring guidance that can help, reforming things that have been, that have deformed in many homes, so that humanity, husbands and wives, can live in peace, lead happy, fulfilled, and successful married life in this world, and of course, in the hereafter as well. So, Jazakallah khairan, Mr. Abbasai, for being part of the show today and sharing your insightful review. Dear viewers, it has been a great time on the show today, exploring the guidance and blessed advice contained in this book, Domestic Issues and Their Solutions. Of course, if you have question or comment or what have you, you can always get to us via africa@mt.tv. Until next time, when domestic issues and their solutions will be coming your way by the grace of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أنت الذي حزت الرضا أنت المزكي للورى قدنا إلى نبع الصفا من بيتك المعمور